Welcome back to the Real Triathlon Podcast. We're back. It's been a little bit. You guys have traveled basically into the middle of nowhere. Hawaii's in the middle of nowhere. It really is. It's in the middle of the Pacific, in the middle of
You
nowhere.
saying the Pacific is nowhere? Because there's a lot of ocean life there. Let's not forget to be polite to them. Tons of things there.
That's like
Yes.
being in the desert and being like, oh, there's tons of stuff here because there's snakes and scorpions.
Okay, all right. Yes, we did go to Kona, and there wasn't a whole lot around us besides other triathletes. It's amazing how the town shuts down. We'll get into all that. We will talk about Kona, but I think most importantly, there's some more recent events that have had us on the edge of our seats because Garrick has been non-responsive to all forms of communication, non-verbal nor text. Garrick, what the fuck? Where you been? Tell us about what's happening in your life.
Well, that was really just a week. After
No, it was like 2.
I mean, then you
Definitely.
guys left.
I've been
I didn't-
on this like the edge of my seat for 2 weeks since the day of Ironman Chattanooga, waiting to hear from you. Still have a WhatsApp. Garrick, hello. Unresponse. No response.
He doesn't check it.
Taking it to heart.
Okay, WhatsApp is a giant mess. We have like 8 group chats going on. Every time I open my phone, it's like 200 plus notifications on that group, and I'm like, I can't catch up to this.
It's because
just
you open
too
it
much.
every
It's
6 to
overwhelming.
7 days. You can't open it every 6 to 7 days and be like, you have to check your WhatsApp at least 15 to 50 times a day, depending on the week, what's happening. You got to check your texts about the same amount. So every time you check a text, check WhatsApp. Just get used to it.
I don't know. But basically what happened, so Ironman Chattanooga, I essentially retired from triathlon at 120K into like, not essentially. So I either retired or I'm taking a long extended break from triathlon. It's just hip pain came back. So there's 2 factors. It's kind of twofold. So the hip pain, I've been dealing with it quite a bit on and off this season. And I haven't really had time to get it checked out and see what's going on, if it is like recurring or if it's something else. It obviously feels pretty similar, but I think just the fact that I haven't even had enough time to go and get that checked out is kind of a sign that maybe I just don't have time. If I don't have time to get my body right, maybe I don't have time to like put in the necessary work, to what it takes to compete at this level, and perform at the sport. So also 3 DNFs this year. That's like come on, you can't.
That's tough,
like
for sure.
You can't kid yourself. And they're not like, oh, I was having a bad day, I'm just gonna end it here. It was like my body just telling me, I think it's either time we slow down or we take a break here. So I'm hesitant on saying like, yeah, I'm officially retired from triathlon, because I do see myself maybe doing an Ironman at this time next year, just to put a bow on it. But yeah, there's a lot of other commitments, I think, and I think it's time to look at it.
I think it's time you go full-time podcast host and just take this shit to the next level because I can't do it. I can't reach out to people. I can't advertise. I can't
So
say
that's
thanks to
another-
Patreon members.
That's another thing, is like there are so many things pulling me in other directions, and like it seems like everything is fighting against me when it comes to training. I ran with Jack on Sunday and we were chatting, and there's just like a level of like relentlessness that you need to have, and it's something that I talk with my athletes all the time about that want to get to that next level. And I'm like, you have to understand like how relentless you have to be in training just to be an average professional triathlete. And a lot of people just don't have it, quite frankly. And that's something that I feel like I have lost over the past 4 weeks. Like really since I got back from Roth, I've felt like I've been taking on more work at work and at home, and we're getting in the process of perhaps building a new house and stuff like that. So it's like I've been pulled away from it, and even just my drive to work has gone from 45 minutes to an hour 15 to an hour and a half because of all the construction going on, and like it's just piling up. So yeah, you kind of have to ask yourself too, like, when's it time? When are you gonna do it? And I think, right now is a good time maybe to give it a go, and at least a break. Maybe find that fire later, come back to it, do something maybe, or just move on and do something easy like run marathons or do that like swim run stuff. Like not easy, but stuff that you don't really need to be relentless. You're not trying to perform at like an elite level against other people who do this full time, right? And yeah, I just feel like I'd be a bit of a hypocrite being a coach and trying to, and even coming on this podcast and trying to advocate for what it takes to race at a professional level, and then not do it myself, and then just have like poor performances all the time.
Does take everything.
I think it also, how much the sport has evolved in the past 10 years is...
Whose phone is making
Sorry,
noise?
that's
Turn
mine.
it off. We're going to get a complaint. Someone's going to leave it in the...
Sure, that's
gonna
mine.
kick
It's
us
the
out the
athletes
chat.
who never text me, like text me when I'm busy. They know that I'm
Oh,
doing
man.
something.
Someone must... They were going to stop listening to us if it was one more go of that.
But I just think that the level of triathlon has, like, professional triathlon has changed so much in the past 10 years that, like, I probably could win, like 10 years ago, could probably win quite a few 70.3s. Just if you look at some of the times, granted, yeah, a lot has changed in terms of like TT bikes and we're eating more carbs and things like that. But it's so much more dense, and I don't know. Yeah, it's just kind of like since 2020, since COVID hit, like I feel like triathlon and professional triathletes have exploded. Like it's been like the sport has been like on roids. Like
It's
maybe
annoying, but it's
actually or
good.
maybe not, we don't know. But like in the sense that it's just like you feel like everyone, and it just keeps getting so much faster, and you're like, when are we going to stop like getting so much better at this like trajectory? But I think
Well,
that's
you got to appreciate that though, because that is part of most sports that are way older than ours. They went through this phase. Imagine
yeah.
the 4 minute milers, and then like the 240 marathoners. Like those guys and gals over the years have seen their times just be totally evaporated. So our sport is growing. This is a good thing. We've got more talent. We've got more technology. It sucks for us because we're getting left a little bit behind against the younger, ambitious buttholes out there who we
Yeah.
also love.
I feel like the everyday pros are getting like pushed out, and I don't think that's necessarily wrong. And I think that's
Right.
like a professionalization of our sport, which is kind of what we've always wanted and kind of what we need. But it makes it, yeah, I mean, it makes it hard to compete, right? Like that's kind of it. When I was looking at doing Ironman, and like when I really got into triathlon, that was always what I wanted to do. But I went through the typical development pipeline, short course, junior racing, on the provincial team with provincial funding, did all the draft legal stuff until U23, aged out. Most people, like, once you're done at U23, it's like now you move on, right? Unless you're racing WTCS or stuff like that. And so I did that. I moved on. And when I looked at Ironman and I looked at what my potential was, I always thought, I could run in the 250s and I'll be right around probably just over 300 watts. And I was like, that's awesome. I could probably make a living off of this. And I've done that multiple times. I've done those races and I've made like $1,000, and like 305 watts on the bike. I've done that 3 or 4 times now. And I'm always getting just pumped.
Well, this sport never rewards the prize money. It's like a nugget to say, "Hey, good job." That you can keep traveling to the next race and the next race. But unless you build the business of your sport and have a huge network, you can't sustain it. And you've got to work your ass off. And Garrick, I think to your testament, you've been working so hard at work to build a business, to be there for the family, to transition into maybe fatherhood and another level. Like, it takes some really big looks at yourself. Every athlete at some point, even football players, they freaking retire when they're like 30. Like they've just been destroyed too much, and life is too hard to keep up with that type of lifestyle. So it's just time to start looking at it. I'm not saying it's time to retire. It's just time to start looking at it.
But I also think like we don't have to. I've talked with Leslie about this too, because she's like, I'm not retired because like maybe I want to hop into a race. Like who knows? I want to keep that door open too. And it's like I think sometimes we get caught up in like, oh, we have to have like a hard dead stop, like because at the end of the day, like there are very few people like we care, Garrick, but like there are very few people outside of like our circle and our close like friends and family that really care. And so it's like
true.
you can take a year break. You can like not race for a year if that's what you want to do. Or like maybe you're like, I'm done racing professionally. Or maybe in 2 years you're like, wow, I'm at a great stage in my life and I feel good. I feel like because I took such a long break, my body has been finally like had the opportunity to heal fully. I don't know. So, and especially
Yeah,
like you're still so young. You're still
not closing-
you're the youngest one.
I'm
but
not closing the door, but
yeah.
like I do have to kind of also in terms of just like how my body is built. It's not built to do this sport. It never was. Like it's always like what's the saying? A square peg in a round hole, or it's always kind of seemed like
That's
that.
also what we call marriage.
Yeah.
Some days.
And so like I've always been kind of forcing it, like just like chronically in pain, just like walking around, you know.
And you're not even 30, so you shouldn't
well,
be
I
in
am
that much
30.
pain. Oh, you are 30 now.
Yeah, I'm 30 now, so
Okay, sorry. I
we're
thought
all
you
in
were
our
still
30s here,
29.
right, Nick? You're still in your 30s.
Yeah, dog. Until July, then I'm fucked. I think I'm gonna maintain the youngest personality with the most broisms. I think I'm gonna maintain that into my 40s though. It's not gonna age out.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I just think it's like I think it's good to be like to recognize what you really feel like you need is taking a step back, whatever that means. Maybe in
Also,
like
you
a
just
month you're
can't
gonna
keep
be
going
like,
to races and like your body shutting down on you and
No.
like not finishing. Like that feels awful. In Chattanooga, we were out of the state before anyone finished the race because I was so just like, let's go.
over
Let's
it.
like-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care
I
if
was
we get
so
another
over it.
3 nights at the Airbnb. We're just get it. Leave the food.
Yeah.
Leave the clothes. I don't care. There's piss in my bike. Leave that piss.
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
But
Garrick, it's
hard.
all right, man.
That's
It's
good.
not gonna end. It's just a transition. And honestly, like if you're Canadian, you can probably get a pro license anytime you can pass echocardiogram. Like you'd be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get your
America.
license back whenever you want.
It's part of your identity too, right? Like people, you're like,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm a professional triathlete, whatever that means. But like, so you kind of have to, and you every time you're in a room, except for when it's with other people from RTS, you're like the fittest person in the room, and you're gonna have to kind of let that go too, right?
You don't have to stop being the fittest person in the room, Garrick, because you can keep that going.
Well, I just got to be careful on what rooms I walk into.
And plus, anytime that I ever tell anybody that I do this, I've been doing this for 15 years, 12 years. I've been telling that story a lot lately because people are like, well, how'd you break your leg? And I'm like, well, yeah, here's a 5-second backstory. They're like, wait, you can do that? Like, you make money at that? I'm like, well, you make money doing stuff around that. Like,
Yeah.
sometimes you can make money doing that, but like, it's not always.
So, yeah, but
Well, thanks.
I don't know.
Thanks for the update.
I've come to terms with it. I'm pretty happy. I think maybe the fire might burn again, right? And we'll see. We'll have to figure out a way to make it happen if it does.
just
but if not, it's just,
Be a downhill mountain biker. You're built for that shit.
Dude.
You don't have to pedal. You just take impact.
Those
Your hips will be
guys.
fine.
I'm sure I won't get injured at all doing that.
No,
There's
you're
also
heavy. You get-
there's also no hills where I live, Nick. It's like the flattest
Shit.
place on earth.
You're gonna have to
Swift.
relocate the whole business.
Swift is just starting this new downhill virtual mountain biking. It's real.
Yeah.
All you do is you just turn, and you get negative elevation. You're like, oh man, I descended about 80,000 feet this week. That's pro.
I'm always looking for practices that are for sale, like anywhere in Canada or the U.S. So
Oh, I mean, I'll keep my eye out if I know anybody. We can be neighbors.
Prostitutes?
Pro-
I mean, prostheses?
Steve asked me, he's like, what does Garrick do again? I was like, prosthesis. He's a prosthesis. And he's
usually
like, what the?
every time I cross the border, which is every day now, the border agents are like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" And I'm like, "I'm a clinical prosthetist." And they're like, they make the same joke every time. They're like, "Oh, you're a prostitute?" I'm like,
Oh, never heard that one, bud.
yeah,
You should just say it sometime. Yeah, I'm a clinical prostitute.
I mean,
They're like,
yeah.
what?
prosthetist.
But a lot of them know me now. But yeah, when I got certified, that was what it said on the cake. It was like we got one of our technicians at work got a cake, and it was like certified prostitute, and I was like, okay. I mean, if the joke is like at a prosthetic practice, then this is pretty widespread.
Yeah. I'm sure you have to say "so to speak" before all of your briefings and meetings. Like, so to speak, just we're gonna say a lot of innuendos here. Let's just get that out of the way. But speaking of sending it downhill, I'm going to Red Bull Rampage tomorrow and Sunday. Have
How
you
did
ever heard
you-
of it?
What
Oh,
is Red Bull Rampage?
It is when people send it off of the most heinous and insane, massive gaps and sequences of lines they put together ever. And some of them have some terrible crashes, but some of them make history.
It's insane. So dang it, I was gonna say, so with Orbea, one of my direct contacts, Jeff Gulovich, used to be like a Red Bull Rampage like downhill guy, like absolutely insane. And some of the crashes, sorry, I'm trying to remember his name.
I
was
can't
looking
imagine
up
how
on
many bones they
Instagram.
break throughout their life.
That and just like, oh, Paul Basagoita. He was a Red Bull Rampage guy, like massive downhiller. 10 years ago, he yeeted himself off at some point and like had a crazy spinal injury. It took him like a year to learn how to walk again. He still kind of has like this not super whatever normal stride, but he like rides bikes again. Like 10 years later, he's on mountain bike still like doing like jumps and like jumps that would terrify me still. But I met him this year at Oceanside 70.3 because he wants to do a 70.3 or a triathlon at some point, which I was like, that's pretty cool. So those guys and gals are freaking legit and terrifying. It's terrifying what
The girls
they
go
do.
tomorrow.
Girls go tomorrow.
Yeah, girls competition tomorrow, men's competition Sunday.
You just have to have something a little off in your head. Like you like there has to be some sense of fear that like you don't have.
There are some lines like I've just watched on their heads up display GoPro videos or whatever. Like if you are off like a centimeter or a fraction on any sequence of those lines, like you're off like hundreds of feet drops. Like there's no saving you, and they just kind of like, oh, whoa, cool. Like you can hear them do some commentary during it. They're just casually about to risk their life at every turn.
That's what so I want to talk about this too when we get to talking about Kona. But this self-preservation thing. I
We
feel
saw
like
that.
one of the reasons that I may never be this amazing triathlete, especially in Kona, is because I have too much self-preservation. like
Got to send it.
like in my head. Like you have to just be able to be willing to just be like, fuck it, I don't care. Whatever happens, happens. I might die. And I don't have that.
It's crazy to think that's necessary for our sport too, but I guess like heat exhaustion,
It's
all
definitely
kinds of-
become part of it. It used to be a good thing to have self-preservation, and it probably you can if you're fast enough, you can probably consistently finish 10th to 15th at Kona with like self-preservation, but you're just not going to take that next step, right?
Yeah, to risk it, be willing to like completely risk what happened to like Taylor Knibb, like
And Lucy Charles.
and Lucy Charles.
and other women who were not fortunate enough to be on camera or get named or just DNF'd on the bike or something, like all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about Kona. We're here. I think we talk about Kona. Let's talk about what it was to be there. First and foremost, cool. Secondly, we were there, Lisa and I, mainly for Team Zoot. We did capture a lot of behind the scenes. We were there to kind of hype it up, and honestly, it needed it. It needed some hype. I think we need to bring a younger voice to a lot of our sport and help these incredible athletes like stand out. And I think that's what Lisa, you did that really well, and I tried to support you doing that really well because I'm not a girl. I didn't have a voice there.
You did have a voice there. There were
Yep.
lots of guys on the island. It was a
We
good
don't
ratio.
exist.
It was a good ratio, if to be a man on the Kailua Kona this past weekend. But yeah, I think from what I've heard, I haven't been to Kona since 2019, when there were boys and girls competing at the same day. And from what I've heard from other industry people too, is that was just this year was a little bit like calmer. It wasn't as happening as years past, just because maybe just one gender. But I think that will change a lot next year when we have both genders back together on the same weekend on the same day competing. But it was still a pretty epic, very special event. So really
It's a
happy.
special week. The whole week is special.
Yeah. There's always something going on. I personally loved that. Like, I love when they just highlight the women because I do think a lot of the times more of the men get maybe like 5% more of the total spotlight. So it's nice when you just have a little bit more emphasis on the women's race. And this was the race of the year. This was way better than Nice was. The field was stronger.
Because we could watch it. Like the time zones are better for
Yeah,
us.
that too. That too. But like, I don't know, just the race that the ladies put on and the hype leading up to it, I think this was the race of the year. And it was nothing short of like very eventful too. There were so many lead changes, and it was wild.
Well, Garrick, let's get your perspective as a spectator after I rant about I think that I was more irritated that I heard brands say they didn't go because they didn't think there was much crowds or the people weren't going to be as savage. Like, that bothered me because you have a very concentrated, gifted, and dedicated group of athletes who made this pilgrimage to this island. They set their whole life up for this race, right? And so just because you don't have 3,000 people or whatever Kona typically brings in for both genders, brands did not find it as valuable to go there and have representation, whether it's a pop-up, whether it's at the expo. And the expo, I do think Ironman Corporate Expo has not really done the expo any favors, but still, it bothered me that brands didn't go because those women still needed they still deserve the same amount of respect for you to be there and have your name out there, have your flag waving to show support. And that's really the only thing I was like, wish our industry wasn't so like, well, if I'm not going to get my sales back, like you don't go to Kona to make sales anymore. You go to Kona to ally yourself or line yourself up with the best brands, the best people who care about the sport, the best meetings, and the best vibes. So that was my only one caveat I wish brands would kind of heed notice of is like support them, even if you're not going to just make oodles of cash. You know what I'm saying? Send a skeleton crew, have a brand out there, cheer like Lisa and I did on course because Elite E-Drive needed a lot more cheering. Rant over. Go ahead, Garrick.
I didn't watch any of it because it was Canadian Thanksgiving.
What does that mean?
And
What are you
so
watching, football
we had
or
to-
hockey?
No, I didn't. We didn't watch any sport on Saturday because we had the whole kind of family get together. So I was following along on the app. Just the way the timing worked out, it started at like noon or something for us. So we were driving to Guelph, which is like a 4-hour drive from us. So I missed all that part, and I wasn't gonna make Morgan listen to Kona.
What if the
while we
Leafs were
driving.
playing, Garrick? What if the Leafs were playing?
The Leafs were playing. We didn't watch.
Oh.
The Leafs didn't
Okay.
play that night.
All right, you get a pass.
Yeah, so we didn't watch any of it, but I was, a couple times I tuned into Instagram, and I was like, oh, Lucy Charles is out, and I was like, oh, it looks like Taylor's gonna win, and then she didn't win, and then I looked, and I was like, oh man, what the heck?
Yeah.
I think
that was
I
it.
think I couldn't watch it either because I was cheering, but I liked this year because it was live updates on everybody's feed, like Triathlon Mag, Pro Chinese. Everyone was doing live updates of what actually happened on the spot. So that was cool. Did you notice that, Lisa?
I did. Yeah. And that's what because I went for a run that morning, and then once I like logged back in, I'm like, oh, this is what happened. This is like Taylor's catching Lucy and Javi, and so yeah, it was nice to just be able to log on if I wasn't watching like the in person stream. So, but I mean that race I'm still kind of trying to digest and comprehend, and it was epic in some of the best and some of the worst ways. Like you never want to see two athletes, like two contenders, two very well athletes that could have not easily won, but like had such a good chance of winning, like have to pull out due to heat stroke. And it was also really scary. I think Kona's a terrible place to have an Ironman race.
Awful
Like
place.
it's so dangerous because you think of so many people who come here that are so underprepared. And you also think of like Lucy and Taylor, who are probably some of the most prepared people to come to the island. I don't know. I would love to know the stats of how many people were actually hospitalized, how many people had signs of heat stroke, because that's like absolutely no joke. So
we should cancel it next year.
I think it's
yeah, move it.
I think it's so. This is kind of a hot take, but I think it's so unfortunate that is like the bastion of our sport. Like everyone is like Kona. Like the world champs have to be in Kona. And I feel like we're really missing stuff by not rotating the world champs because it works for such a specific athlete.
Yeah,
And that's just who we're gonna see
Ooh,
Well-
I don't know.
so often.
I'm going to take the devil's advocate on this one and say the whole week of this race is iconic because it's in Kona. Where you swim all day, where you have the parades, like it's been done like that forever. And it didn't work at Nice, guys. Didn't work. People
I
didn't
know,
want 'em.
but
I know, and that's what I'm
Garrick and I
saying.
are saying we wish it would work in these
Yeah.
other places.
I fully
Oh.
yeah. It's
We
unfortunate.
get the Kona
that-
hype.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Like we get the Kona hype and why it's like that. It's unfortunate that is the reality of it, right?
I mean,
Because the Super Bowl moves.
the Queen
Yeah.
K is one of the most uninspiring roads to ride on. Like,
Yeah.
it's like on a freaking highway. There's traffic, not when you're racing, but like when you're training. There's so much traffic out there. The road surface is kind of shitty, so you're like bumping along. And it's hotter than fucking hell. Like it is so hot out there. Like it is just like, what's one of the hardest things in the world that we can do? Let's go do that. So so like Kona's freaking awesome. It's like I loved watching it, loved spectating. I've never sweat more in my life than I had that day, just watching and cheering. But yeah, I just similar to how I wish it wasn't like Kona is the iconic thing of triathlon. Like I wish we could make 70.3 worlds on that same stage. But nobody cares about it as much. But it's awesome. We're going faster. People are closer. Like
Yeah, but half the distance, half the hype.
It's for a bunch of punks who can't handle fools.
I mean, you're
you
not
know what I'm
a
saying?
real athlete if you don't do full Ironmans.
Oh my word.
God.
That is tough. That is a tough one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Kona's awesome.
I will
but-
say so. The one thing I will say about the race, even though I didn't spectate, is I felt like it was like Kat's moment to win, and I'm sad. Like no disrespect to Love Seth, I feel like her moment is coming, and obviously it came, but I feel like that was like Kat's chance to win a world champs. It was in that moment. She
She'll
came
have
so
another
close.
chance though. I think Kat, she was on my radar to be winning or second place all weekend, just because I saw how she walked around and carried herself. She just felt like a good energy. And sometimes, like the number one rule, if you want to take anything away from this episode as you get ready for Kona, is you need to be racing like 5 to 6 pounds heavier. You got to go in heavy, because I think that's what happens as we get so focused on weight and feeling. And it's honestly hard to eat enough race week. Like there's so many obligations, there's a lot going on. Even pro athletes, like I saw people doing stuff until Thursday, having meet and greets. So it was pretty busy. So I think you got to be heavy. You can't be lean and ripped as much as we love to look at. And I'm guilty of that my entire career. The last 3 years, I've just been too lean. But I've honestly been trying to gain weight. I just couldn't. So anyways, gain weight. Go to Kona.
Gain weight.
At least like going into the race, you gotta start
Yeah.
stacking a bit. Yeah.
I don't think you even need to get down to race weight on race the last 3 or 4 days. I think you just need to keep chunking it on and just having like a lot of fluff.
Yeah, biking 180K will bring you down to race weight. So you're gonna hit the run
You're
at
good.
race weight anyways.
Yep.
You should be 5 pounds lighter because you're dehydrated massively.
Yeah.
Oh,
But it was
God.
fun though. I mean, the events overall kind of kept me pretty happy. Like all the partnerships, and it's the first time I went to the Thank God I'm Not Racing party. I mean, we didn't stay
It's a
out late
blast.
either. It was
No,
a blast, but
we were
we didn't see
exhausted by like
anything.
8:30. We were like, should we go home now?
Yeah, we got up at 4 because we had a photo shoot that morning, and I think Lisa and I probably were up at like 4 till about 9 every day, like, and on our feet. Didn't even go home. Just had a backpack and just barely showered a few times wherever we could.
Yeah, we're begging the Zoot guys. We're like, can we borrow an electric scooter?
Oh yeah, and by the way, I had a broken femur when I was there,
Yeah.
so that was really interesting to navigate. Thank goodness I think the island is healing. Like after a couple of days, I was like, I don't need this thing anymore. I'm gonna walk.
Dude, it's sea level. Living at sea level, you recover so much faster. Living at any sort of altitude, you're just fucking yourself for life.
It was the mana.
Well.
Remember he talked about that? The hamana huna honihika mona. Man,
There are
that
too many
speech.
vowels in any Hawaiian words that
It's awesome.
I can't pronounce any of the street signs. You're like the
Yeah.
hula
Hamana lulu
ula
apa.
ula.
Haven't
Pupu
they done a great
apa.
job though? They've done a great job of maintaining their like cultural savageness of being like respectable, but don't fuck with them. I feel like that's Hawaii. Like I respect everything, but I don't want to fight any of those Polynesian or Hawaiian boys. Like they'll just hit me beat me in with the face of a starfish or something.
The Hawaiian Polynesian culture is like it's a super special one, and I love how spiritual it is. Like it
Yeah.
feels like they're like one with the earth and one with like it feels, I don't know, different than any other culture that I've witnessed, and I felt that too when we were in New Zealand because they have strong what's the tribe? Not the tribe, the
I don't
people.
know. I almost got canceled, so I can't say
I
anything
know.
about New Zealand.
Should I forget that they do the haka.
Yep.
It's like very spiritual, very like I don't know. It's kind of moving to see that and witness that. I'll probably be
Well,
canceled by something
hey, you're
wrong.
fine. You didn't do anything wrong. So let's talk about standouts that weren't, on the podium. Like I think Jocelyn McCauley, big standout.
7th place, but she spent a month on the island before the race. That's
Yep.
crazy. Super. I mean, that worked for her. She hadn't had a good Kona since that. Like in good, I don't think she'd ever finished in the top like 20 maybe. Maybe I'm wrong on that stat.
You might
But
be
yeah,
totally wrong. Don't quote her.
don't
Like
quote
she was
me.
fourth last year or something.
But freaking Hannah Berry finishing 4th.
Crazy.
She's so strong across all disciplines and just flies under the radar. I went for a jog with her partner a couple days before the race. Her and I met up with Toffer while we were jogging after the underpants run, and yeah, he seemed like he was super stoked that she was in a good place for the race, and she was.
If we say partner, are we just saying that they're not heterosexual? Is that how
That's
that
always
works
what it
these
sounds
days?
like.
I
They're like,
know, but
well,
that's just like an American thing. Like when we say partner in America, it's maybe they're not heterosexual. I feel like
we're
that's
not
more
assuming
common.
they're like husband or
But
wife.
in
It's
other countries,
either
it's very normal to be like, "This is my partner," and it's
well,
like
but
your
that's because
husband.
I think it's normal to say like partner if you're not married but you've
And
been
been together.
together and like living essentially married for multiple years.
But
And
what
that's
if you
most
are
cultures
married?
outside the US.
Yeah,
What if
like
you are
Quebec.
married? Is it normal to still say partner, or you can just say like
I
my
don't know.
husband or my wife?
I like to say my wife because I'm proud that she's my wife and to be a husband. So that's why I say it. But
You're proud to
Yeah.
be a partner though? No?
Yeah, like kind of
partner
like their
in
partner in
marriage.
life too.
Okay. All right, move on. I think that's, tomato, tomato. There's nothing wrong with however you say it.
Yeah,
So
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
other standouts. Let's see. Who did we see on the run course who was just doing so good? Besides Kat.
Well, Sarah Svens came. She ran through the field to, I believe, top 10. performance. I think they may think she was eighth. But yeah, she came off the bike like really far back and had a phenomenal run. India Lee had a great bike until she got a flat close to the
And then
finish.
ran well.
And then I think she was underwhelmed with her run, but
She was
like-
smiling.
yeah, she was one of the happiest. Steph Clutterbuck, she's my new idol because she just signed a deal with OnlyFans and now she's an OnlyFans athlete.
We need to talk about that because I want to know.
Yeah.
I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm neutral because I'm not.
You're
here
just
to judge.
neutral. You're not freaking stoked.
I'm not stoked because I have a conflict of stoke versus conflict of reality. Okay, so what messages are we actually sending when we have, like, what if it was straight up Pornhub who sponsored her? Because essentially you could say that's the same thing what OnlyFans is it's paid for porn. That's what it's known for. There's other creators on there who do not do that. I understand.
Yeah.
But there's people on Pornhub who also just show their feet. Probably. Just hypothetically putting that out there. Right? Like, what if Pornhub was sponsoring me? Would you be like, yeah, Nick's just great. He's got that porn sponsor. Like, let's break it down into what it kind of really stands for with the economy and lifestyles we're all living and what we know it is for.
And like, what is involved with her sponsorship? Like, that's what I don't understand. Is it's
She
just
just
the
ha-
brand is sponsoring her? She's not on OnlyFans.
She's
Like-
on
No,
there.
I
and
think she is, has to be on
You can
OnlyFans.
you can subscribe to her page and watch her behind the scenes stuff. I don't think, and I know this for a fact, nothing on there from her page will be anything sexual or like. I mean, I can't say in the next couple of years if anything's going to change. I know, but I think that the goal is to show a real life non-porno version of what OnlyFans can be.
Because
Yes,
that
and I-
was the original plan when they started OnlyFans, was for
Yes.
that
Yeah.
and like art and stuff like that. But as with most things in life, it divulged into sex.
Yeah, Patreon is also pretty much that too. Sometimes it's like, well,
Yeah.
if I'm a Patreon, I'll send you some nudies or something for $10 a week. But that's Lisa. Now that you have that, now I want to hear your answer.
Yeah, go back.
No, I
to
think
it.
it's awesome. I think that I also think that there's so little money in the sport. I think taking a brand deal with OnlyFans is way above taking a brand deal with like one of the like
What if I got a
Bahrain
brand
endurance.
deal from? What
Or
about
like-
a marijuana one?
Well, that's like already what like CBD and what Justin Reale has. He's got like a free pouch.
That's
Nicotine.
nicotine only though. But like, what if I had a straight up like Cheech and Chong sponsor?
How much are they paying you?
Exact. So it's only valid if they're paying me enough to warrant the sponsorship, is what you're saying. All right, that's fair.
What if you're getting?
not
What
against
if you're? What if you're getting a sponsorship from like a cartel, Lisa?
Wait, that's bad. That's bad.
Okay, that's where we're drawing the line.
Cartel is bad. I think like I'm not a fan of weed, but like weed sponsorship, like if you can basically say like, "Hey, I do this in my spare time when I'm not racing because it's illegal after a certain It's a certain level of like weed in your body."
It's a gray area.
Yeah. Anyways, like probably fine. Like it's not something that I would do, but
But we're not gonna
OnlyFans.
stone them.
No, no. But like I think we have to accept that OnlyFans is trying to bring these athletes in to help hopefully trying to turn their platform around. And if Steph says no to the money, another athlete's going to take it. So why not Steph to benefit from it? You know? Why can't she be one of the athletes that helps turn the brand around from being this like pornographic sexual thing to be like, hey, let me show you some how-to videos of how to be a pro triathlete. Like,
I mean, if YouTube was sponsoring people, that would solve that problem right then and there, wouldn't it?
exactly. They kind
Like,
of,
Because can you
Yeah.
do a premium subscription on YouTube?
yes.
Do they have that?
Uh,
I know they have.
I
a
know
section
that.
now.
I know that because Steve has that.
no. You get a premium subscription and you just don't get ads. You can't subscribe to a premium
No,
channel.
like yeah, like is there a channel where you can like subscribe and there's like a premium feature to it, right? Where they'll
No.
send where there's like videos behind a paywall.
They should
Kinda like
do
you
that
can do-
though.
YouTube itself.
No. Because you can do it on. I know you can do it for podcasts now. You can do like exclusive VIP only podcasts and stuff. But I didn't know if that was.
which is also a gateway to porn on your podcast.
Well, I mean,
Anything that
this podcast is mostly porn, anyways.
anytime I hear anything that says exclusive, I'm like, uh-oh, there's nudity.
Can't click on that.
Sign up for exclusive content. What does that mean? Oh, butthole.
So, anyways, I think Steph, you go, girl. Like,
Yeah.
way to bring in some extra cash and keep this triathlon dream alive.
Would you also say, Lisa, there might be women out there who think it does not do women a service to promote selling sex as a sponsorship? I'm not at all saying that. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
For sure. There's going to be so many women and men who are like, that is so wrong. You could probably click on any of the Instagram social media posts right now and scroll through comments and people are like, that's disgusting. I don't know for sure. But
Stay
I'm
out of the
sure there's
comments.
going to be some people in there that are like very appalled, and maybe Steph has lost a couple fans from it. But I can guarantee you that she's going to gain more fans on the other
Yeah.
end. So
Well, I don't have a problem with it. I think like you said, Lisa, you got to get your money and you've got to stick to what's true for you, and you can't listen to everybody else. And we know Steph's a lovely person and there's nothing behind those eyes but honesty and determination to be the best athlete possible. So we support her. We got it.
yeah, I love it. And I always like the saying is like, you can be the sweetest, juiciest peach in the world, and there's going to still be some people that don't like peaches.
Yeah. I mean, Lisa, how many people say bullshit to you about dancing and like just the most rude things, and all you're doing is enjoying your life, and other people are too.
Yeah, and they're like
You know.
very taken offense to it.
I always like to say they're peanut butter and jealous. They're spreading that KY jealous all over them.
KY jealous.
I did not make that up. That's from a movie. They hate us because they ain't
But
us.
ain't us.
Haters gonna ain't. Haters gonna hate.
Haters.
And that was a great. I'm glad we brought that up because I think that was important to talk about. It's a big step forward for our sport. It's like when we need more commercial, not commercial, but more corporate entities coming into sport.
Non-endemic.
Yeah,
Yes.
this is a good step forward from that perspective. Like, I don't give a shit if it's like, and what's another sponsor who could be roughly along the same lines, like would it be a beer, like a Budweiser or a vodka or something like that?
There used to be the
Bud Light,
Michelob.
used to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then Michelob Ultra, yeah.
And now we're on near beers. And by the way, have you noticed that they're gouging everybody to death with the prices of near beers? Like, you can go get a drink with alcohol for about $8 to $12 most places. You order a mocktail and it's about $25.
Yeah. Can I also say that yesterday, Steve and I went out to dinner and they asked what we want to drink, and he got some wine, and I said, "Can I have a kitty cocktail?" And he goes, "Yes, what kind?" Because in my head, a kitty cocktail always meant like a Shirley Temple. But that wasn't. He just looked at me like I was a 6-year-old
There's a
child.
brand.
Yeah. I was like, "What do you mean you don't know what a kitty cocktail is?" But
You
yeah.
don't have any grenadine floating around that back?
Come on, we just need some of that good cherry tasting stuff and some Sprite.
Give me that syrup. So Kona-
Shirley Temples, like, so good.
They're
Amazing.
so good. Like,
Fantastic.
Very underrated.
I think we should start, instead of Coca-Cola at aid stations, they should start like mixing up some Shirley
Shirley
Temples. I would slam those back mid half marathon.
It needs to be flat. Do not put that fizz in there, though. Don't give me no fizz on the race course.
Kind of just like it makes you wake up a little bit though. Makes you burp
Yeah,
a
when
little
you're
bit, but makes you
throwing it
wake up.
70.3 Worlds is coming up, and there's going to be over 6,000 competitors there, you two. Can you believe that there's going to be so many athletes on Marbella?
I think it's going to
6,000.
be a pretty epic vibe. Just speaking from experience from New Zealand, when 70.3 Worlds were there last year, it was the most fun I've ever had on a race course. Like, that race course was loaded with people, and I feel like this year, a two-lap run course is going to be the exact same vibe.
It's a one-loop bike, though, right?
One loop bike. You like head in the mountain, so that'll probably be pretty like lonely.
It'll break it up, yeah.
Totally normal.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I think that 70.3 Worlds does deserve a lot more clout than I think we've traditionally gotten for it. But I think we'll see. I mean, we're probably going to see someone run like a 102 half marathon or some craziness. Like, some massive performance is about to be unleashed upon us.
It's got good hype, like, within the sport. It just doesn't transcend our sport like Kona does.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, because not everybody knows about it.
Yeah.
We just need some big connections with like
Qatar.
ESPN or Qatar.
I think they probably tried that at some point. They're like, let's put triathlon on ESPN. And then they were like, well, everyone changed the channel.
Ooh, oh
Sorry.
wait. Talk
It's also
about,
in the middle of football season, so you can't put it on Saturday for 4 hours on ESPN.
And yeah,
That is
especially not in
true.
the morning.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Find us in
Okay.
the highlight reel.
But we do have some races upcoming this weekend. We got the T100 Wollongong. Is that how you say it? Wollongong?
Wollongong.
Wollongong. Wollongong.
That was my
And
nickname
the
and my stage name. But it was Wo Long Dong.
And that's where you can find him on OnlyFans.
Yeah. Underscore at Wo Long Dong.
Whoa.
Like WHOA. Like, whoa.
Anyways,
That race is happening.
that race is happening, and the WTCS grand final is the same weekend. So,
Wait, real quick, rewind back to Kona real fast. I have to talk about something that I feel like me and Lisa are very fortunate. Garrick, I'm sorry you weren't there, but listen, we got to hang out with some of the coolest people in Kona just by association. Craig Alexander is the guy I got into the sport chasing the professionalism, his character, his candor. And that mother effer knows me now. Like, he's like, oh, hey, Nick, how's the leg? I'm like, you know about my leg? It was awesome. And then we got to hang out at the banquet with Marinda Carfrey before she went. Like, there's 3 people at this 9-person table. It's just us 3. No one's sitting with us. We get to hang out with Rinny. She's like the coolest chick ever. Very, just tells you what it is. And I don't know. I just feel like there's tons of other names. Like getting her hang out with even freaking my gosh, who won? What was her name?
Daniela Reef.
No, well, she was there. Solvi. I mean, it's not Solvig, it's Solvi. But yeah, we get to hang out with her at the Precision Party.
I don't speak Norwegian, so.
I don't either. But Brad Williams told us exactly how to say it, and as he was crying, so it was pretty good. Moving,
Nice.
super. But Lisa, didn't you find? We can move on to the other stuff. But did you think that was like how lucky are we as pro athletes to be rubbing shoulders with such legacy athletes?
It was really cool. And I like Cherie, she was inducted into the Hall of Fame this past year. She's 14-time age group winner in Kona, which is unreal. And I think she used to be the oldest Kona finisher until this year. I might have that wrong.
Wait, who was Cherie?
Cherie was who Diana Hassel was here with. She was the older lady. She held up the finishing banner tape.
Yep. I thought you were saying that Diane was like. I was like, did I hang out with her too? My gosh, because she's cool.
Yeah, it's just there's so many legends in the sport, and it's really cool to see these people who have stopped competing to be back and invested and stoked about it. I don't know. So I think it's a sport that you just want to, once you're out of it too, you want to kind of keep being involved in it because it made such a big impact on your life.
There you go, Garrick. You don't have to leave the sport when you decide to take it less serious. You're still valid.
Yeah, I mean, I got to do this podcast. I get to do this podcast every week.
Shoot, I still have to follow everything triathlon.
Yeah, and now you're going to put some gasoline on it and take us all the way to outer space.
Exactly. I still love the sport. Like mentally, I'm still like super into it and involved with it, obviously. But yeah, I just don't have time to ride my bike for 5 hours.
Look at your shirt. I mean, you chose to wear that shirt right now, so like obviously, love it. Who wears it? I mean, I can't tell you the last time I thought about wearing a finisher shirt, much less kept it. I was like, nah, give this to the chain.
I use them as like exercise shirts or like working around the house shirts, but I haven't.
Is it the Brazil?
No, this one's Waco. Like, these are so old, but yeah, just the bottom of the pile, and if it's just what I get to wearing around the house.
You're gonna give it to your kid one day. He's gonna be like, "What the hell are these, Daddy? You got about 100 of them. Nothing. Use your scholarship money that's been invested."
I used to have some really cool T-shirts from races, and Morgan threw them all out. She's like, "You never wear these. It's taking up space."
Real quick, you guys are gonna have to watch the podcast to see these photos. But Gabby Lumkis, who just raced in Kona, she's a professional. She just sent me some of these photos.
Uh-oh.
That was epic. You can see me in the background.
Where are you? Oh, are you cheering for the finish? Oh, that's so awesome.
That's cool.
She just.
Look how excited you were.
I was so
She's
excited.
like, Lisa, you were like the biggest cheerer and the only one there in the VIP section.
Yeah, right. Where's everyone else?
That's the only thing that's tough about like the top three is like after the top three come through, they don't celebrate quite as much, right?
It's sad because
Yeah,
still
they should
finishing
be-
top 10 in Kona is amazing. Like, but yeah, it really, the crowds die and we're like walking back to, wherever. And it's like, there's like nobody at the finish line then. It's so sad. So hopefully
like,
that changes a little bit last year, because when I finished like 23rd at 70.3 Worlds last year, the finish line was still filled with people. It was crazy. I was like high-fiving people. I was like, why are people still here? It was awesome. It was best finish line ever, and that was not like that in Kona this year. So
Yeah.
change that next year, everyone.
Crowds were down. I don't think it's expensive as it used to be also to get there. I mean, I don't think it is, because I think you can still get there without spending 10 grand. I really do. You just have to like share resources.
Yeah, sleep on a couch, maybe. Pull out.
Yeah, you don't have to rent something on Elite E Drive, like you can, or on like an infinity pool looking over everything. Like you can still live in some place that has crusty air conditioning, like my room did, but it was good enough.
But it
well,
was.
Where were we headed before I tangented back to Kona? Anything valuable, or should we just try to find the wrapping paper and wrap it up?
Yeah, let's wrap her up.
Wrap
Yeah,
her
it's
up.
All right, I think that's a good time. 51 minutes. So next couple weeks, if you're around and if you're bored and if you're like, hey, what is going on with Real Tri Squad? I'm going to check their website because I needed to see this website. Go to realtrisquad.com, check the Cozumel camp. And then you're like, whoa, what is this new team Nick has created for all of us to join and thrive in? RTS Racing, we're launching that. So it's not exclusive. You can be on other teams. But guess what? We're going to charge you just a little bit because we're going to give you an opportunity to win like a bike frame or like a whole wetsuit. Like value items in the thousands, and you're only paying $100. It's like the gear lottery. So that's how we're doing it, and it's going to help our team immensely.
Yeah, and you just got to give back to like us poor triathletes.
Well, no, at least we're not hustling and just asking for something for nothing. We are like
you get
providing
something back.
to the market. We're bringing it to market. It's not like
You
we're
get
like,
a
hey, can we
free-
get a sponsorship?
Free subscription to Nick's OnlyFans page.
My new recycling business that's going to be called Only Cans, and we only want aluminum cans, and it's going to be, I'll stop by and get them, and I'll shake your hand personally. So anyways, check the website out, and then if you're like, whoa, you guys do all this stuff, I never knew this stuff, and it's amazing. But what about coaching? Well, first and foremost, you can check Lisa's out if you want. I don't know, it's lisasbuttholecoaching.com or something. Or wait, Lisa Betch Harris. We can't even spell it, so don't worry. Phonetically spell it. Or you can go to endureallcoaching.com, which I'm still kind of finishing up the actual website. But in about a week or two, it'll be ready. You can be like, whoa, Lisa, why aren't you on there? You should have done that. Garrick's going to be on there, I hope. I don't know if he still coaches anybody, maybe 2 people, something like that.
It's
Garrett's
shocking.
coach.
So, I mean, right now, yeah, I'm down to 3 athletes. I have space for other people if they want to, and it's some more time.
You can talk hockey.
People yeah, we can talk hockey for sure. We can talk soccer, not so well. But
We talk about hip surgery, real good.
yeah, people need to stop getting pregnant and doing other
Wait,
sports. 'Cause that's how I keep losing my athletes.
Oh, shoot. Well, if you're a serious athlete and you want to take your performance to the next level, our ecosystem and our camps and our swim camps and our fun, and Lisa's taken over our social media for the last year.
Don't tell people that. I'm behind the scenes. Behind the scenes.
There's
don't know
this
who runs
chick.
So
social
Lisa's
media.
behind the scenes running our Instagram.
Because
There's this girl.
I get called out when I make bad spelling things, which has been a lot
no.
recently. I apologize.
I'll tell you what I did wrong, and I'll own up to this because I felt awful, and I still have to answer to it one day. I don't know when. So I have managed the Blue 70 social media account for like 2.5, maybe 3 years now, and obviously we don't make a lot of noise about it, but we do sponsor Kat Matthews, and I made sure we had some pictures ready for when she took second, and at one point she was in third. All right, let's just remember that. And for a long time she was in third.
Did you put third?
And when I made that post, and it lasted for about like 8 minutes before I realized, oh my God, I made the biggest mistake ever. I said third instead of second. So I fixed it, and life was fine. And then like maybe 2 days later, I get a screenshot from somebody like at Blue 7. They're like, what's happening on Facebook? Like, why haven't we fixed this? And
Oh no.
No.
I didn't know you had to go into Facebook and change it there. I thought it would update on both posts. So for like 2 days, everyone was like, yeah, y'all must have stopped watching after 3K or if 3K left. Or they were like, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But all press is good press, I suppose. And,
Sorry,
So-
Kat Matthews from Nick.
from me, I apologize. And I know I said sorry to everybody, but people make mistakes. I was a little bit brain dead on that particular moment. And
Yeah, it's hard. It's a hard
I won't
job.
be, won't be making that mistake ever again, I promise you.
But we will be making other mistakes, so hang
I'm
with
just gonna
us.
say podium finisher. I'm not gonna just in case. Anyways, so our website's up, the team's up, the camp's going, we're growing. We're going to be locking in with our partners next year, the same partners. We're going to keep our roster growing. And anything else you two want to throw in there to just throw some gasoline on that fire, let me know. Chime in anytime, Garrick and or Lisa.
Come
Great
to
job,
Cozumel
thanks.
Camp.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Come to Cozumel Camp.
It's awesome.
It is. All right. Well, on that note, Garrick, don't retire yet. Give it a minute. And Lisa, peace out.
Ow.
Oh.